Okay. Look, I got glitter freckles.
Oh, cute.
I put makeup on for the fucking podcast.
Nice.
Look at me. Anyway, I also got new glasses. These are my serious business rainbow glasses. Look, I got little gold. Anyway,
CEO glasses.
CEO. They're my witch bitch glasses. These are my serious business glasses. And we're going to talk about serious business tonight. So these are serious
Okay.
business glasses. These are anti-fascism glasses.
All right.
I take them off and they can also be brass knuckles. Poke,
Right.
poke your eye out. All right. Well, hi, everybody. This is Kyla and Kim.
Yep.
You
Hello.
know, we're just in a little bit of a different, well, we used to do this all the time. God,
Yeah.
I just had a lot of flashbacks. So now I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, we used to
Years
Zoom.
ago.
That's how we kind of started was 2020. We had a metaphysical shop. And of course, everything closed down. So we went to Facebook Live and Zooms and held all sorts of classes. Anyway,
Hold
Kyla
on.
and Kim.
I should take that light down. I'm like, you're gonna get all kinds of comments. That is a glare back there.
That's the glare back there.
Yeah, I turned it off.
Okay.
So anyway, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Um,
Where do we want to how do we intro this?
um, okay, hold on, give me a second. I'll do it. I wish it told us how many minutes we were recording. Um,
Yes, we used to do this years ago.
okay, I'll get back to that. I'm gonna kind of say some things, and we'll just go into it. We're just gonna go into it. Okay. Um, Hello and welcome. It's Kyla and Kim, Star Lady Hedge and her sister from TikTok. We look a little bit different today. We are on YouTube. We're doing longer content because we just like to ramble, and the TikTok time limits limiting us. We're not going to be limited anymore. Not going to be limited. So we look a little different, but actually, Kim and I used to do this all the time. It's kind of how we started. We had a metaphysical shop in 2020, and then with COVID, so we just went to Facebook Lives and Zooms, and so it's been a little while. So this is a familiar place, but not for
Not
a lot of you. Not for a lot of you. So thank
yeah.
you for joining us. Tonight we're going to start kind of basically what we were doing on TikTok. We want to do here, first of all, time reasons. Second of all, TikTok has changed since that overnight thing. Like if I talk about anything and I use the tags I used to use, it all like it just doesn't work. You can't talk about certain things anymore. You can't say certain names, but when I say those names over on YouTube, I don't get in trouble. So, so we have longer content and just freedom of expression a little bit is why we're over here. Um, so yeah, we look a little. I look a little bit different too. I don't have my normal rainbow glasses on. I told Kim I got these just for when we do this stuff. These are my serious business glasses. You see these points? So Cody loves my rainbow glasses, but these scare him a little bit. He says that they're real serious. So I told him I would save it for just really serious stuff. And I figured for our time, and like I told Kim, they're anti-fascism glasses. You can wear them as brass knuckles and poke somebody's eye out. I
Yeah.
also have glitter freckles on and makeup, which you guys normally don't see because I'm normally just talking to you when I first wake up before I even like go to the bathroom or anything. So it's a special day. It's a special day. Kim and I are going to talk. And like I said, we had certain plans. We do want to talk about certain people and hit kind of a dominoes. but things are coming in so fast. Kim and I are just gonna chat for a while. You'll see how we roll, how we rabbit hole. If you aren't aware, I'm the astrologer. She's the historian. What else would you call yourself? Like folklorist, folklore specialist? Is that right, or is that wrong? That's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that I'm like a folklorist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I was right. Why are you
Yeah.
shaking your head no?
I don't know.
Imposter syndrome or some shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 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 I love
So
dead things. I love dead people. Like that's,
yeah,
yeah.
she's also an amazing medium. And for mediumship and astrology, history's a little important. It's a little. I think it's important in everything.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we're seeing right now why history is important, right?
Yeah.
So, um,
The ancestors are angry.
the ancestors are angry. They're so loud. We've been talking about that on TikTok too, about how there's really no veil and how there's screaming. Um,
Definitely.
I I got the term quantum astrology from Rick Levine and Lewis Eddington, and I like it because in that way it's like waves of electricity. So we have, you know, like how some people are trying to say like this is the age of Aquarius, and like it's not yet, but this is a wave of it. This is a wave of that energy. In 1960s was a bump of it, but
Mm.
it's I don't know why I'm talking about this. What was I talking about? Where am I going?
You're talking about like history and like witches, this kind of works with history and
Yeah,
astrology.
but then
Yeah.
I just lost the fucking. Oh no, okay, no, now I remember. So on TikTok, it was a lot of me really understanding this history and kind of like studying the waves. And I would look at the time where the waves were, and I'd talk to my sister who's better at history, and just trying to see what the lessons are. And as you'll see if you stick with us, I'm very much a why person. Like I feel like if I understand people's why, I can move. I can understand. So on TikTok for a bit, I was really like, Kim, why? Why is this happening? Why is it going on? And now I've realized that, you know what? Why isn't going to help me? Okay. It's actually going to piss me off. So I need to, I need to quit trying to figure out the why. Cause I
Yep.
think maybe I can't succinct it in a very short little nutshell, but I think the why is becoming pretty obvious over time. And this is a personal thing for me. Kim and I talked a lot on TikTok about how there's kind of this lie of we've always been progressing, we've always been going forward. And
That's a doozy. That's fine.
doing the little bit with Kim, I've realized like we repeat history because we erase it, and we are like this is constant. This is like a constant struggle in our
Humans
society.
are
Like,
stupid. Humans
huh?
are stupid. Humans are stupid. They keep
Yeah.
doing the same thing over and over.
Well, yeah, but I think it'd be. I think we would know. I don't know. I think if we actually learn correct history, though, we'd
Yes.
be a little bit better prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gone pretty much. So I was
Okay. So, if you haven't caught on yet, Kim and I are anti-fascist. We do very much believe this is a coup. Um,
COUP.
COUPOGO. Cupo. Elon's not hot to go.
It's fun to talk about the COUP. It's fun to talk about the C.
OUPE. Yeah.
Here's your viral moment.
Coup. It's a coup. I'm really glad people are saying that now, because for the longest time, I felt like I couldn't say it because no one said it. But yeah,
It
I'm
is
glad.
it's technical, it's accurate, it is
Yeah.
exactly what's happening. So
So Jupiter's gone direct. And the day that bitch went direct, everything became a lot clearer of what their plans and kind of intentions are looking like.
yeah,
Um, Donald Trump announced yesterday that the U.S. would be in charge of Gaza and wants to relocate all the Palestinians and make a resort. Also, it's confirmed that he does want to demolish the Department of Education. Yeah, and like always, it's a lot, 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 it's a lot. Oh, and all the you said stuff, and oh, Muskie and his little group of coked out werewolf incel fucking titty baby, literal titty baby boys who haven't been touched by Saturn yet. There's a lot going on.
no, I these guys are my kids' age. Like,
Yeah, yeah. No frontal cortex, not
no,
fully developed, not fully
no,
developed. It's
no, no. These boys got way too much power. They are not fucking Peter Parker. So,
yeah.
but I'll try not to drop the F bomb too much. But YouTube doesn't
I
too much. I don't know.
Can you cuss on YouTube?
I hear people do it all the time.
I'm
So,
sure. I'm sure you can. I hope so, or else I'm fucked.
I mean, as
Anyway,
long as we're not, you know.
yeah. Um.
So, yeah.
So if you're unaware, America went through its Pluto return. If you're doing the U.S. Sibley chart, so we've been looking a lot of that. A lot of people have been talking about Pluto and Aquarius, the age of the revolution in America, France, Haiti. It is this time. I've been talking a lot about how I feel like Aquarius energy is kind of when men get the fucking audacity. Because I
Good,
think that's when they
good
start.
Lord.
It's like when they start thinking that they're God or like wanting to, like,
Yeah.
you know, um,
That it's the toxicity about it is so deep that, like, I don't, you and I have been talking about something that happened, and I was like, oh God, this goes way deeper. The base toxic masculinity, the wound of it, the whatever of it just goes way deeper than I thought it would.
yeah, I had no idea how big it was. So, America had its Pluto return. Uranus is going to go into Gemini. That'll be a return. Um, um, uh, oh, the wound, Chiron. America's Chiron is in Aries, and it is having a Chiron return, which I think Elon's Chiron is in Aries as well. Trump's is in Libra, which I think is interesting. So, Chiron in Aries is, in a nutshell, known as the wound of identity. And I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. Anything associated with Aries, anger, actual physical pain, parents' anger, but it's mostly with identity, and it's mostly like not being seen and not being recognized for the abilities that you have. And since researching the US's chart and all these dudes and stuff, I have coined Chiron of Aries like the wound of man, like the wound of the boy, like the male wound. Because I think that's America's wound. I think that so Chiron is the dwarf planet. He is the healer who heals himself through healing others. So it is a wound. It's a sensitive point. That we always have. But if we choose to not run from it, if we choose to embrace it and not keep it in shame, the idea is that on the other side, there's spiritual abundance and prosperity. Um, and when Kim and I were doing this like history series on TikTok, a lot of people told me like certain things to look at, and every one that we looked at, Chiron was in Aries. Um, so just to give a little quick thing before we go into more shit, Chiron has a really weird orbit. A lot of people think that everything spends the same amount of time in each sign, but it depends on the orbit. And Chiron is in Aries for the longest, more than any others. He's up there from like 4 to 8 years. And I found this really interesting in 2024. And that's why I wrote my book, because it was the time that the North Node was going to conjunct with Chiron. And I was like, oh, we're all healing our authenticity wounds and our identity wounds. And, we're going in and we're finding our path where we're supposed to be leaders, where we're supposed to pop up, all this stuff. And I didn't realize at the time that this year I would be so focused on it as well, but in a different way. I didn't realize last year that it was America's Chiron return, because most people don't do America's chart with Chiron in it. But then I did, and I was like, oh shit. So I think it's really interesting that Chiron is in Aries super long. And it's Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it is the wound of identity, because Chiron really does deal. I'm not going to go super crazy astrology, but Chiron, he is in between Saturn and Uranus. So it is that it's kind of like our wound is always something when it like separates us from our mom, like when we finally like figure out we're our own person. But if that doesn't get recognized, we don't really know ourselves, and so on and so forth. So Chiron and Aries, I think, is a really big deal, obviously. And I think it's I this young boy business is killing me with the Chiron and Aries. Like, and yeah, all the young stuff, Chiron and Aries, and then Jupiter and Gemini. Aries and Gemini are both known as like the younger, the children. And it's just it's wackadoo, because if you've ever hung out with people who like do drugs that they are on, that fascism loves to bring around. Maybe not fascism, just Hitler, I don't know. But those type of drugs like that they had, we're all rolling and shit.
The special K,
I
you
can't
know.
get I can't get that image out of my head of like just these bunch of like 20-year-old babies,
Yeah.
fucking babies.
I'm hearing they're called the tweens. Elon
Oh
tweens.
God. And just being all coked out werewolf, fucking making decisions.
We need to trademark that term.
We do, because this is it. Like this, like I have never seen that term come to life so much than I have. We just got some coked out werewolves, and it's all for money, all for taxes, like, you know.
Yeah.
So this is my thing. I first asked you, I was like, why did we come here? Why did we come here? Why did we come here? And because I was told in school it's like religious freedom, also taxation. So was taxation why they left?
No, there
No.
not there's not a sole reason.
Yeah.
I mean, taxation wasn't a reason why they came here, nor was it a reason why they stayed, really. I don't know. Because like, so yeah, it's an argument. Parts of us were founded by religious freedom, but also, religious, like wanting a theocracy. There's different centers. But the one thing that really did boom along with that was capitalism. It was trade. Like
Yeah.
people, so England was becoming more of a uh I forgot the term, but like back in the day, medieval times or whatever, or even like Tudory times, there was still kind of a free roaming kind of understood law. Like if you had a cow and you were walking through a village, you were allowed to have your cow munch on that pasture, or you were
Yeah.
allowed to eat out of the vegetable patch. Like it was more communal. But then when the landed gentry, i.e., when trade become people start making more money, they want to own their private property, and they start setting up enclosured lawns.
Yeah.
Basically, all the rich people were buying property, and London and the cities were becoming crowded, and there was sickness and blah blah blah. So like a lot of people just wanted to come here because honestly there wasn't a lot of room for a bunch of people, with
Yeah.
everybody buying up all the manors and whatever else.
Yeah.
And the ones that came here were happy to work. They were servants, most of them indentures, and that means most of them do willingly sign up for 7 years or 4. But there's also criminals, political mostly, petty ones too. um,
Yeah.
so they the one thing that the thing that catches the masses is land and opportunity.
Yeah.
You get you a patch of land, you grow one crop, you can trade in it. Like,
Yeah.
then you can get more. That's why a lot of the first people that came in like the late 1700s did pretty well for themselves. Granted, they were doing a lot of stuff like on the DL, but England was like, it's called salutary neglect. There is an official term for this. Basically, it was kind of like King George was like, as long as you pay X amount to me a year or quarter or whatever, y'all can do what you want.
Yeah.
Also, let's use slaves.
Yeah. I was just wondering if taxation was a thing, because one, I've heard it, but I don't trust anything I've ever learned ever. But two, also because really just putting together the other day, I forgot about Trump's tax cuts in 2017. And I forgot that bill is coming due. And you know,
Well,
Elon has said that if Trump wasn't in office, he would go to jail, and I think a lot of it is they don't want to pay their part of taxes, and because of the fines, and just Elon for sure just doesn't want to be like a member of a community, or he doesn't think that he should be. He thinks
well,
that he's God.
I will say this, that I just learned this the other day, that the taxation thing, this is our mislearned history for a lot of us, is that it's not that the colonists didn't want to pay a tax at all. They more were agreeing to the taxes to pay. They just wanted a representative in parliament, like no taxes without representation. The representation bit was the bigger issue.
Okay.
They were fine with the taxes. They just wanted representation. But they didn't want that from them because they didn't want them to think they were on the same level. The
Yeah.
House of Lords weren't going to let like Johnny upstarts come in. So
Yeah.
from this is I can cite a source with this, but like this was more the issue. They wanted
Yeah.
a person there to speak for them because they didn't want to. They like the colonists were, like I'm telling you, they were rolling in it, like
Rolling in what, the deep? What are they rolling
like
in?
cash. They were
Oh,
making money. They were making money like
yeah.
hand over fist. So
Yeah.
they had no problem paying their part.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Okay.
they didn't. Previous to our independence was the 7 years French Indian War.
Yeah.
England was broke from that.
Yeah.
And the colonists were like, hey, we know there was a war, we'll pay, but like we're not paying that much.
Right.
And like the Tea Party and all that happened later. So, and that was a monopoly. You want to talk about monopolies, like the Brits did it with that. The Brits had a monopoly on the slave trade. The Brits held the first monopolies on a lot of things. So
I think he's trying to do monopoly stuff right now because this whole like now boycotting is illegal. I don't understand how in a capitalist society you're telling me that I can't choose where to spend my money and I can't say I'm boycotting. Like that is insane to me. Like
Yeah.
that is fucking it because he's suing Lego, Nestle, and someone else for not advertising with X. I told Sean this and he was like, is he going to sue us for never advertising on for you not having an X account for the hedge never advertising on X? What like what do you mean we can't boycott? Because they started that with this past summer when we were boycotting Starbucks and McDonald's. We still are, but um, they were saying that like that's wrong and it's like they're trying to make it illegal to like have boycotts. I'm like, what the hell? What?
It's all that free market BS shit that's not real, that is fake, that they have bought
So,
into.
okay, back to my monopoly thing. I just want to say this. I think I've okay, because this is where we're gonna put the 10 hat theories. This is where Kyla's gonna say what she wants to say because I haven't gotten threatened to get kicked off here. I I could lose TikTok any second. They told me last night to not get in trouble again, and I got in trouble 3 times today. So who knows? Anywho, the monopoly thing. So I am worried. I I'm worried that what Elon is doing is making all of his businesses take over the government. So I know for sure he wants his AI thing to run things. I know he wants it all AI. He's been building this big machine that he calls like Colossus or something. I learned way too much last night about AI. And oh, oh, I should have told you this before we were recording because I need to talk to you about it. Anyway. Um, rabbit holes. Anyway, um,
We're
so
the
I think,
queens of rabbit holes.
huh?
We're the queens of rabbit holes.
No, we need a big rabbit hole shirt. Like that's like what I'm in. I'm in the shit, Kim. Um, but no. What was I saying? It's right there. No, okay, yeah. I think he wants it all to be AI operated, and he has an AI machine that he
Well, he's
wants it
doing
to
that
do.
with the Doge, right? Like
Huh?
he's
Yeah,
doing that with the Doge and
yeah,
the twins.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I am worried about finances. I think this boy is trying to push us into crypto,
Oh yeah.
like
Mhm.
for real. Like,
Yeah.
because I think he knows that like it wouldn't be easy for us to switch. So I'm so worried about taxes, like him, but also him doing this around tax season makes my butt pucker because so many people depend on taxes. Like so many people are like, "Hey, I'll do that when I get my taxes." Like, and I'm one of those people.
Yep.
I'm luckily not like that this year, but I have definitely been when I get my taxes type person. And I kind of feel like if someone fucks with people's taxes, that will start some shit, right? Like
Yes.
that will start some shit. Um, but I also
But
don't.
also,
I don't
Elon is
want people.
not an elected person. Like that's another thing. We did not elect Elon.
Oh well, duh. No, none of
Does
his
not
shit is
represent
okay.
us.
Yeah, no, he's not. And that's why I love how they're holding the press conferences out there. That started with Jupiter and Gemini. Jasmine Crockett getting out there and being like, "Hell no, hell no." I'm like,
Yes.
yes, finally. But like, um, I think because they all have their own crypto coin now. It's like a bad episode of The Simpsons, really. Because I think Elon's gonna be like, here's my crypto. Rah, 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 rah. You guys are getting Bitcoin. You know what I mean? He's gonna do something like that.
You all are going to get your tax returns in Bitcoin.
It's gonna be something out of this world. He is trying to change our finances completely. And I mean completely. And so that, yeah, monopoly. Monopoly. But
I still don't like it here.
who likes it? I don't think anybody likes it. I don't think anybody likes it. Um, so we know that Hitler, they said that he dismantled the German government within 54 days of taking office.
Yeah.
And Kim has counted, I have counted 54 days from when Trump took office will be March 15th, which is known as the Ides of March. Kim, you want to give a little bit of?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it goes back to the Romans. Like, God.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
supposedly the story is that Julius Caesar was murdered on the 15th of March by Mark Antony and all them. And so supposedly that's people said that, oh well, that was the winds of change, basically, is March
Yeah.
15th, the Ides of March, when the winds switch from wintry to southerly, like everything is topsy-turvy. And that's kind of what it means, is that something can blow in completely unexpected, and because of that your friend can turn on you, I guess. So
And I think for sure Elon knows about that date.
yeah, because he's freaking edge lord, and he says he plays games,
Yeah.
even though he pays
He,
kids off or
yeah.
whatever. Like you,
Yeah. Could
you
you
think he's
imagine?
not
Could you
like
imagine paying a kid to like play a game for you as like, I don't know. Like I just don't understand that world at all. It's really rough.
50-year-old man?
It's crazy. Um,
Like, what a nerd.
yeah,
Sorry, but
it's it's cuckoo. Um,
yeah. So I think Elon probably was like, you know,
I think there's something. I think he thinks he's Taylor Swift, like leaving like little clues and shit. I think he and Trump both think that. And I think a lot of people think that Trump is like really in on this. I don't think so. I think they shove him Diet Cokes and cheeseburgers and he just like does shit. And I also think he doesn't care if he's hated or people think he's a clown. Like he just, wants his money and
out
stuff.
of
But
jail.
but like so okay, back to 54 days and March. So also March is the last eclipse in the sign of Aries. Now we had the Aries move, we had the nodes move to Aries and Libra. Um, that was so now the nodes are in Pisces and Virgo, and that just happened in January, and that lasts about 18 months. So the 18 months before that, they were in Aries and Libra. And on April 8th, we had the big eclipse, and it was known as the American eclipse, um, because it was over us. So this is the last. So I think that eclipse is like March 20th, or it's a little bit after, but that eclipse is in Aries. It's the last one. It's conjunct Chiron. It's a doozy. It's the last American one. Um, so I think there's going to be a lot of change, a lot of shifting. But I'm really weirded out about the fact that Trump keeps like making these little allusions to like being assassinated, like him sitting and talking about Iran. Sorry, I was correct. Iran. I need to quit saying Iran. Iran. Um, and he said that if they retaliate or assassinate him, that he has left directions for them to be obliterated, that it would be really bad for them. Um, I think it's really weird that he keeps making these little references, and he has some really nasty transits coming up that a lot of people predict that his health and like, or he could just die. Like he's he's Saturn's in his eighth house. I mean, Jesus, we're doing some things, um but him keep mentioning that, and with all the games they're playing, but also the Ides of March, I don't know, are they gonna act like, I don't know, I feel like,
Oh,
yeah,
I smell what
I
you're
feel like more
stepping in.
I feel like more plays are coming. I feel like we haven't even gotten into all the dramatics. But with all this shit in Pisces, it's an artist's dream out there, but it's so woo woo and not real. There's nothing to stand on. It's just like,
No, Elon's the Riddler, he thinks.
he fucking thinks.
Yeah. I
He
was
really
told
does.
like, that guy like worships Jim Carrey and like watches him and the Riddler like over and over again. Loves
That guy is
like
high all
Truman
the fucking
Show.
time.
Yes, loves that.
Yeah. And Sean tells me that he really does believe that he's in, like, that we're all in a simulation, which, like, I understand on some level why people use that, but like Sean says that like he's one of those incel gamer boys that truly thinks so. And Sean says that's a different level that I don't understand, which I agree with, because I don't get any fucking incels. How do we have incels running the world? Chiron and Aries.
It's these nerds. It's
Yeah.
these nerds. And I know I'm being silly and flippant, of course, but I mean like we have like Curtis Yarvin, who been
You've been harping on that motherfucker.
I've been in a rabbit hole with him, and he's
Yeah.
put me in a place where I absolutely no longer feel that I need to regard these people with any sort of respect.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, like, I don't know. This is the point. Like, I have my hackles up or whatever,
Yeah.
like it's kind of like I'm ready for the bullying. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just kind of that kind of thing. But yeah. So, like, they're such boys that like they literally were on chronically online before we were
Yeah.
online, like
Yeah.
chronically. And it was like elitist, like these were kids from MIT and stuff that could only access these chat rooms. And like that Yarvin guy has totally, I mean, I'm sorry, I'll get on that, but like he blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Curtis Yarvin, freak.
I wonder if I can find his natal chart.
Well, that's the thing. People think that he doesn't give his real birthday. Like he tries to be such an elusive.
People tell me that about Elon all the time. When I talk about Elon's chart, they're always like, he's a little bit smarter than that. I know he lied. And I'm like, no, he didn't, because I can look at this fucking chart.
No, but I can tell you if I think I heard it was June 23rd was his birthday. So that's Cancer ish, right?
I got June 25th, 1973.
Yeah. So he's a Cancer.
Fuck. So's Elon.
Mm-hmm.
Elon's also a Cancer rising.
Mm-hmm.
His sun is in the 12th house. So yeah, we can talk about Cancer and mommy issues, but let's talk about daddy issues.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Elon's shit is with his dad. And like, I don't, and anyone can argue with me about his Cancer placements. That sun is in the 12th house, bitch. Like, that is sorry, I'm trying to look at Curtis Yarvin. I don't think anyone just like has him. Oh,
I think there's a
oh my gosh, Curtis Yarvin, Chiron and Aries. I'm telling you, I am telling you. um,
good night, Gracie. Just kidding. It's just like, of course it is. This is bonkers world.
Yeah, sometimes astrology is astrologying too much for me. I'm like, really? Oh yeah. Um, so who is this guy? I can't place him.
Um,
You
so
talk about him
well,
all the time though.
yeah, you will never see him. That's the thing. He kind
Okay.
of is. It's so weird and nuanced and like crazy insane because like I feel silly and crazy explaining him to you. That's like
Yeah.
how weird it is. But he again a chronically online person in like the 2020 aughts or whatever, and he like he wrote these guys are very much into Lord of the Rings. I'll preface that. Okay.
Yeah.
So he tells he let me see if I can say it right. He comes up with this sort of like way of being in this fictional thing. Like he starts classifying things in a secretive way, like coding them. Like he talks about the caste system in India and how his family would be in the supreme elite caste, which he
Yeah.
calls the cathedral, which is like elite universities, clergy, places like that, you know. So he likes to be an enigma, but he wrote bad badger fan fiction for a bit, got into race science with that, and is a total misogynist and believes like women are just wombs, you know.
Yarvin argues that American democracy is a failed experiment that should be replaced by an accountable monarchy. He has been described as a neo reactionary advocating for a techno monarchy as an alternative to democracy. Yeah, they're trying to start like a techno bureaucracy type shit.
Yeah, this is their sci-fi wet dream. They can make it happen. Elon's their boy, you know. He's the
So, oh god. Okay, I have a little weird astrology saying I got to put out there. So, the nodes are in Pisces and Virgo now. So, the north node is in Virgo and the south node, no, the north node's in Pisces and the south node is in Virgo. Where the north node is where we're supposed to be reaching a little bit more, embracing that energy, surrounding ourselves with it. South node is what we kind of want to rebalance, recalibrate, figure out what needs to shift or whatever.
mm-hmm.
So, like with Aries and Libra, a lot of people know those signs really well. So I'll start with explaining that. So with Aries, it was reaching towards authenticity, reaching towards our ability to lead, reaching towards our courageousness. And with the Libra, it was like leaving behind people pleasing tendencies, not being a doormat, um, you know, really trying to embody what Libra really means and not like what it can manifest into. Not like it should be or it looks pleasant. Like we want real art and we don't want things to look fair. We want real justice. You know, we want to really um so there's always a through story in astrology. And that was what we have been seeing. And now that the eclipse season that we're in, okay, so stick with me. This is how I wrap it all up in my brain. What the fuck is going on? So Pisces is a water sign. It is the sign of intuition, creativity, empathy, compassion, but it's also the sign of escapism. Pisces, again, water sign. Um, there ain't nothing scarier sometimes than dark water, right? So Pisces is
Yeah.
the darkness. It is understanding that the darkness is a part of us. There's no boundary. Pisces is our ability to embrace our darkness. While Virgo, on the other hand, is known as the light, pure, hope, good. So last year we're like reaching towards independence and leaving behind like codependence. Now we are supposed to lean into embracing all of ourselves more and not and be a complete person and not just try to be good, not just try to shine in these certain ways, try to be a whole person.
Right.
And, with nature, everything's a spectrum. We are both light and dark, right? And we are both our north node and our south node. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is like binaries versus spectrums. We got a bunch of like computer boys that think in zeros and ones, that speak in binary language, bad, good.
Everything's code.
Everything is this. While the universe says, no, everything is this. Everything's a little bit of both. Everything influences one another.
Yeah.
And everything's a spectrum, because who are they attacking? The spectrum of autism, ADHD, the sexual spectrum. Like, they have a problem. And we see this in history when we have the nodes in Pisces or Virgo or any other, like, one of the big societal planets, Jupiter or Saturn, in one of those. We have this society really trying to again enforce binary, be like boy, girl, good, bad. You know what I mean? When Pisces is like, hey, there is no difference between you and me, and Virgo is too. Virgo is like the physical representation of like intuition and feelings. Like, if she doesn't have a good vibe, she will literally shit her pants. Like, the idea is that these guys kind of represent the binary, but they are so much more. Like, they are complete. And whenever we see these history, for some reason, boys want the binary. It makes them feel secure. They're scared without the binary. They're scared of the spectrum. And I don't know why. Why? It doesn't help men. It makes them kill themselves and, do horrible things. Why? Again, I said I wouldn't be like this in the beginning. I said I wouldn't be a Y person.
Okay. But so hopefully I can say this. This is what I feel just from everything I've looked. And I've talked about this with my husband and stuff. And I think I've finally fine-tuned this kind of possible theory. There is something about, if you look at the pattern recognition, let's do that. Okay, that's my thing. So you have like just trans people. They are mutable. They have transmuted themselves from one to the other or vice versa. There is something about not being able to like put them in a binary code, a 0 or a 1. Are you a 0 or you're 1? We can't have, zeros and ones, and ones thinking they're zeros, and like, like yes, you're right. It's like they have to, everybody has to fit in this very fine mold, because also we don't want to talk about how one thing influences another. Like, we learn history in vacuums. This
yes,
in purified form. And there's a thing about like, they got to trust you. They got to be able to size you up. They don't like drag queens because, what if they find you attractive or whatever, like, what if they cannot trust themselves about it.
So this is the only thing I can think of. And it goes back to them, we all say that men are insecure of our womb, the ability to create life and transmute. And I still think that, because I know Elon's chart and he's fucking weird about kids. And I think he's like a snippet of Henry VIII and, all that, all all that
Not a
stuff.
good thing. Not a good thing.
No. Um,
Yeah, I just think it's a way of like they have to be able to size you up and like
they have to be
and,
able to put you in a box. And I think the problem with women, especially because it starts with us,
yeah.
is the fact that like there's certain times where shit can't be defined. Like we are the portal from the other world. Like when does a baby
We
be,
are the
what
liminal space.
when does a baby become a person? They want to decide when the fuck it does because they want to be able to say it. They don't like this, you know, like there's something about having to be able to categorize, having to be able to, and there's too much Neptune Piscean energy of no boundaries, no line. There's nothing that divides you and I. Like we're all one. All this stuff. There's something about that they are either completely afraid of or just don't get because they don't. We women, our bodies are nothing but transmutation and change. We change with time. We have our cycles. We have babies. We have periods of time where we're literally straddling both planes, you know. When you found out the day you were pregnant, and like, you know, I remember the day I was pregnant, I had like a margarita earlier in the day and I was like so scared and sad because I, you know, like because I
Yeah.
drank, you know, you drink, but it's like,
I smoked one more cigarette. Like, I mean, hey,
well,
you
you
know,
know, yeah, I know, but it's like it's that stuff of like not knowing this separation, the the fact that there's no boundaries, the fact that we, you know, like I said, kind of traverse these two planes and are able to, are in these in between spaces constantly, like are constantly transitioning and evolving. Like
or
there's something about
constantly
that
change.
like
Yeah.
that doesn't
It don't
bode
sit
well.
right with them.
Yeah.
It don't sit right with them. That's like,
They think it's witchcraft, you know.
you.
Some of them do.
No, they do. Like, not in a way that is like, but like, you know, it's sexual or it's
Yeah.
sensual or it's lusty. There's something about sort of, again,
Yeah.
it's like the whole Eve archetype or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. But like it's something that we just naturally embody that they know can persuade them. So again, it's like they just abstain. That's why incels are the way they are,
Yeah.
and Elon is incel edgelord or whatever, so
What edge lord?
what
What's edge lord?
it's like it's them, they think that they're super cool and like kind of cringe and they shit post and they're did 4chan or 8chan or whatever and they just send each other memes nonstop and like think they're so hilarious and they'll be like
Yeah.
really weird obscure ones like it's like it's so disgusting like it's such an insular world like their inside jokes are on inside jokes on inside jokes. If you ever saw the documentary, I think that came out about 4chan or 8chan, and you realize this whole movement really just started with memes and shit posting,
Yeah.
like that's what emboldened them,
Well, so like, um, oh, I forgot there's someone on TikTok that I love, um, that said that we have to stop memeing Donald Trump and Elon and his boys and stuff because Elon and his boys, like, that
Yeah.
is their language and that's what they understand. And that's how we made them not look like monsters. You know what I mean? Like, I literally saw how movie propaganda worked on a Facebook post the other day. Like, this guy literally said to someone that was saying that Elon was doing a Nazi salute, he literally said, like, how blind can you be? Haven't you seen, and, you know, and he lists all these movies and he's like, those are Nazis. Like, this is just a man. And I could tell he like really meant it. And it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really interesting about stop memeing them. Stop, because it was like every time we meme with these boys, we we help
They
them. We help their
they
cause.
have to, you know, yeah, they love
Yeah.
it. It's peak, it's supreme tier or whatever they would say. Like it is like a big pat on the back for them to do all those things.
Yeah.
So, and they're chronically online, and Elon and everybody, they all want us to be chronically online. That could be the boycott thing that you were talking about and stuff.
Yeah.
This, I don't know, you know, I am not on social media that much anymore. I'm not really on my phone much, but
Yeah.
I'm getting way more updates to entice me to look at social media. Hey,
Yeah.
Kyla posted this. Hey, you know, so and so posted this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'll take a quick look, but then like then
Yeah.
it's
When did it start
constant.
telling me every time my friends posted?
Yeah, like
That's
you,
really, I have my phone and my iPads and stuff in my readings, and my shit is going off all the time now because it's like, Kim posted a video, which I don't mind getting that, but it's also like, really?
yeah, 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 this is, it's weird. It's really strange. And like Amazon's getting pushy now too. It keeps going, one more look at your cart. Well, I got four today of that.
Yeah.
Like it is freaky. And like, you know, the whole Ronan Farrow thing has got me, you know.
Okay. All right. So, okay, I'm going to get into my rabbit hole. We'll just have a nice, long chat. I was going to save this for a separate one because I think we could talk about it forever. But I might need to pose the question now and we talk later, or we could talk whatever it. But
Yeah.
like, so stick with me. This is, we're going on a little bit of a journey. You know, I do the Nostradamus stuff sometimes. Like, I
Yeah.
like to look at seers, and I think it's you told us that we're related to one,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
I always wondered if that's why I'm like kind of obsessed with them.
Yeah.
I mean, but anyway, I've always wanted to, like, that was like the only thing that I really remember from AP French was like trying to translate um you know those things. And everyone's gonna be like, did you read your Dolores kit? I see what you send me. I'm not really a big Dolores Cannon.
Yeah.
That's her name, right? Yeah, Doreen Virtue is the other one. I mix them up, and I know that's gonna piss people off, but I do anyway. um so Nostradamus predicts three antichrists during his time. It, like, he kind of says that he prophesizes like the next like 5-7 thousand years.
Mm-hmm.
And he says there'll be three antichrists.
Mm-hmm.
um oh yeah, okay, sorry, I forgot who the a lot of people attribute the first two to Napoleon and Hitler.
Okay.
um so he has a birth chart
Mm-hmm.
for the
Yeah.
antichrist,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really interesting. um but and it's all in Aquarius pretty much. So it's the day that everyone kind of mistook as entering the age of Aquarius. They thought it was that day because everything was in Aquarius, and it was in 1962.
Mm-hmm.
um that is the Antichrist's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people been, and I've asked you if you know anyone. I've
Mm-hmm.
been on this thing. Okay. Now, since Trump has been doing this Gaza talk,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because hold on. I mean, this is, you know, so there's people who think that this is like the second coming because they think Trump is like Christ and
Yeah,
Christ would be returning to Jerusalem.
totally other.
Or you have the other side who thinks it's the Antichrist trying to enter the holy city.
Okay.
So it's kind of revved up a bit, the talk of like who the fucking third Antichrist is. Because everyone, to be honest, everyone is like, it had to be Trump. It has to be, but he's way too old. He's as old as like dad. He's way too old for it.
Yeah.
Um, but and then but everyone's arguing Elon because like, but I have a weird I have a weird theory. Sorry, I have like so many things going on in my mind. And it sucks because again, they think they're Taylor Swift, but sometimes like I do think that they're leaving little breadcrumbs, or I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, are they fucking with us? I don't really know. It's hard for
I
me to
don't
know.
think they care anymore. Like, I don't
I
think
don't
they
think they
care.
care. I don't know. I don't know. Ugh, it's such a mess. But what was I saying?
You're talking
I'm
about this person.
oh,
Elon.
huh?
You thought it was Elon, the third
Oh yeah,
one.
everyone thinks it's Elon. And so stick with me. We know some kind of crazy technology is in Israel. Ronan Farrow told us.
Oh yeah.
He told us that they, and we know it's Spy City Central there. They have bullets that can like go around corners or something. That's why a lot of people are like, how, like, come on, Hamas, because Israel's military is like so, so,
Yeah.
so AI was technically born in 1952, I think, 51. I have its chart. Um, in the 50s is technically when AI was born. But this is like very basic and all pre-coded stuff. Now, at this time, this is still not like a known thing. Like we barely have computers, like it's. But in 1962, AI took a huge advancement, and it was able to play a game with someone, and it beat they got a checker champion, and the computer beat the actual checker champion. It was a computer, and it took commands, and it thought like it, and that happened in 1962. And so you smell what I'm stepping in.
Yep, I
I
do.
don't know, because I have looked at every goddamn person, and Nostradamus, he can be off a few years. Like he didn't put years in his things. We kind of gather a lot of what.
So I think it's Sam Altman. You've been hearing about that guy, right? Like he's the other AI guy, the open AI
So
guy.
he's the guy. I don't really understand what he did. I know he basically said he could make AI, but he billed them for a whole lot. And
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of what's interesting about him is he said, there's a video of him saying this for some interview. He says AI will change our social contract. Yeah.
what the fuck does that mean?
We don't have to interact with people anymore. That's a lot of it.
Yeah,
That's a lot of it. They
yeah.
don't like us interacting and talking and discussing.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. They don't
I
want.
don't
Yeah,
have to wear my hat to tell you that. So, but
yeah.
like they want
That's
AI
why I think it's so
so
weird that they want
immersed.
to go to work because you
Well,
bond with people a lot at work. You know what I mean?
yeah, but you're more likely to
You're
work.
more likely to be a free thinker if you're, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, but yeah, I I think because I've looked at everybody. I have looked at goddamn everybody. Um, I've shown like I've talked about the closest one in our little group, the King of Jordan, and a lot of people have talked about it being him. Um,
Well, he's in the spotlight kind of now recently. So,
is he? What happened?
well, just with Gaza and everything, like he is not a fan of the B man at all. So they got into a bit of a beef during the war where he was kind of like, you need to knock it off because you're making like our borders weak. Like, like he was kind of like going after him. So he's just like Jordan and Egypt have been in the news, surprisingly, some of the
Yeah,
civilizations on
yeah,
earth.
um, yeah.
And that's
So
like in the African region.
yeah, um, so the other guy was a guy I had never heard of, but Richard brought him up to us, and he was the guy that a few days later
Yeah.
lost a fucking $1 billion in one day because of the Chinese deep seek AI thing.
Hmm.
Um, I found him and I was like, oh shit. But I don't like calling people the Antichrist because I think a lot of people just assume, the Jesus type of Antichrist. Um, but with there is just something in Israel, and it ain't the Holy Land. It's something else that everybody just loves and wants. Um, like like you said, it's all the old civilization. So this has been predicted, like in lots of ways, and that the Antichrist and the Christ would come back to the Holy Land. So it's very but like the only things that are really concrete is where it happens,
Right.
and it's this. So
I just had a weird thought.
do it. What is it? What is it? This is weird thought time.
Like the whole Trump said Trump said that we would own Gaza effectively, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So what if you and
yeah,
I have talked about this?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Building a new narrative,
Yeah, you're
building
feeling me.
new history.
Yeah,
America's going to be right smack in the middle of the Holy Land.
yeah,
We've always been there.
yeah, yeah,
That is the
yeah. No, and like while the North
and
Node is
then
in,
that legitimizes the Christian nationalism.
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's awful. I mean, the Mormons are gonna go bonkers.
Well, well, well.
But I mean, also America owns land in the Middle East. Like
That's what I mean. Like it's prime
it's
real estate.
it's insanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Manifest destiny. Manifest destiny,
but
right?
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think the third is, and I'm not trying to be all Terminatory, because also the third one he gets defeated. It gets defeated. There's always a. I forgot what everyone usually calls him in the Nostradamus books, not like Hercules, but the hero. Um, what do they call it? The Celtic, it's like Orgemos or Orgamos. I don't know. I can't pronounce anything. But yeah.
Wow.
And that one was supposed to be born in like 1950. And I weirdly think it's like computer tech that will save us, but it's not whatever tech is like going to harm us or try to. And I don't know. They got spy shit. They got there's a lot of technology. There's some sort of AI. I bet there's a big AI machine that's like, or they're gonna put one there. Maybe they'll make Jesus AI. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do because
I
Elon's on fucking ketamine. So who fucking knows? And I mean, I don't mean ketamine like in a therapy way. I mean like rolling in the deep, like the Adele
yeah,
song, rolling, or Coolio, rolling with the homies. You remember that one?
yeah.
Fucking rolling, coked out werewolves. Yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
the
well,
more like it seems to be about like, oh, with all the Aquarius stuff and people talking about Age of Aquarius, there's a lot of hope. And I remember being like, hey, but like, that hope, we have to have like fighting first and like sacrifice. But I didn't, and I know Aquarius is the tech sign, like I know it, but I didn't think about the fucking techno boys taking over. I did not think, but I should have known because what was America?
but
Like a
also these are techno boys that are nepo babies, right?
yes,
So okay, you've seen House of the Dragon, right? So like
absolutely,
the
absolutely.
cupbearer, like she gets passed over, right?
Yes.
But like the cupbearer, she was related to the king. Like there's some sort of lineage or passing down or kind of like a mentorship kind of thing, like Teal
Yeah.
Vance and all. There's the daddy issue, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know. But yeah,
What about daddy issues?
that there's like this weird like mentorship kind of thing too,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
the parentalness of it, like bringing their child along and hoping to instill it, like you know
Yeah.
what I mean, like it's very like paternal,
Yeah.
I see kind of Aquarius is like that, like the heavily paternal.
Yeah.
But yeah, very much nepo babies. Like I know that TikTok talking about all these parents had PhDs and went to Ivy League schools and stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Again, hello, generational wealth.
Yeah. Have you been following the Alt National Park uh Facebook site?
I don't think so.
If you get a chance, you should follow them. They are like live Facebooking like their revolution. Like whatever like shit goes down. And I mean they're like standing 10 toes down. They're like, they're gonna have to pull us out of here. But yeah, they've been reporting on like everything when they get emails, when they were told this and that, and they've been holding out, and it's been really interesting um, to watch. And yeah, I left out the techno stuff, thinking about Pluto and Aquarius. I didn't. I mean, I thought about Bitcoin and stuff, but I didn't think about an evil like Lex Luthor, like billionaire trying to
Yeah.
change our fucking economy. I didn't think it'd be that.
Yeah, he's like, he thinks he's Bizarro Bruce Wayne or something, like the evil genius. Is
Yeah.
like he's the Joker and Bruce Wayne at the same time or some shit like that. I don't know. These boys think that they're superheroes and they probably still wear underoos while they're taking their nightly ketamine. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, they have to be just,
And like you can't help but think of like Succession with this.
yeah.
Like the whole like news takeover, like the nepotism, the just kind of upstarts, that just,
Yeah.
anything's for sale, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. It's like there is no veil. You're right. And like the boys don't care about the veil.
Yeah.
These are boys that don't mind whipping their peens out and like, I don't know, measuring them. I don't know. Pencil dicks, if even.
If even, yeah. Um, well,
I don't know, sis. Well, I think are we wrapping things up? Should we end on a
I think we should. How long has it been?
I don't know,
I have no
like an
idea.
hour,
Huh?
an hour at least. I
Okay.
think
I
at
think
least,
that's pretty good.
yeah, yeah,
We should time it next time.
yeah.
I'll figure that out.
I always mean to look, and then it's like I look, but I don't pay attention. So,
Yeah, me too. I started getting into my rabbit holes. Um, well, thanks for joining us. If you've watched, if you want us to talk about something in particular, please leave a comment. Um,
yeah,
Kim and I are both on YouTube and TikTok and all the things.
yep. I mean, I'm sure we'll be doing this again. I don't know how often, but
Yeah,
moving to more.
yeah. I'm gonna try to do a long something every so often. So as often as you wanna come chat, we will chat.
Well, these people, like these dead, are rattling their sabers, like
Yeah.
they're not
Yeah.
playing.
With the North Node and Pisces, I think like it's gonna be woo and delusional and beautiful in a lot of ways, but like sad and sweet and surrendery and like, but good thing about Pisces is they have a lot of hope. And like, I don't want to, with the Aquarius, I kind of didn't think about the techno boys. And I definitely don't want to forget hope and just kind of surrendering to the process. And maybe I don't know exactly where I am, but I'm in the process. I'm not a binary, I am a spectrum. And like, you know, um, I'd like to talk more on that because I think that's going to be like the war. I think that's, um,
Yeah.
like,
Pisces energy has to flow, right? They have to move. So like
yeah,
you have people trying to like block you from having flexibility at home or flexibility in your schedule. Like
yeah,
there's gonna be pushback. Like, you know, it's inevitable. So
yeah, yeah.
yep. Well, yep.
Thank you
Have
so
hope.
much.
Thank
Gotta
you.
have hope. Gotta take care of yourself. Gotta
Yep.
be a little delulu. We have to be like a little delulu right now to like keep yourself safe. Like you have to be like, this is a great day. I'm doing great. Remember you are living in a coup. It's if
Take
it,
take
if the
agency
biggest
where you can.
military fucking industry in the world can get cooed, then you know what? We can have rough days and still be fan fucking tastic. You know?
Just keep it together, reach out, talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Just don't, you're not alone. You have agency. I've heard it said, like, pick up a hobby again, an old hobby you left, like, pick it up again and,
Yeah.
like, have fun with that hobby. Like, find something that you can cling to.
Yeah. The art really, I always talk about how the light comes from the dark, but I also mean that like with art and creation and
Yes.
spark, with all this Pisces energy for a while, like if you're an artist, it is really time to cultivate that and shoot your shot and do whatever. Unfortunately, during horrible shit is when the most fucking beautiful, most thought provoking, powerful art is made. And your art piece could also be your life. So we're gonna have hope. We're gonna talk shit. We're gonna look at charts, but
We're spectrum.
we're not gonna get erased. So we're gonna be loud as ass. Yeah.
Yep. Loud as ass.
Loud as ass. Whatever the fuck that means. I don't even know. I can't stop thinking about them as coked out werewolves. Like,
I know.
Like, I just think that.
I know. Yeah.
I just can't get that image out of my head. I feel like they're running around those buildings and just being fucking insane. Like ties around their heads and like
about like Roblox and like Minecraft and like
yeah. He's like having one guy play Diablo for him and being like, get my score up, bitch.
He's gonna have like his Gandalf wizard that he paid like $10,000 for, and he's gonna be naked under. Never mind, adult. Like
he has so much money. Why does he need to steal all of our money and make it into fucking?
Because it means nothing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like these guys and their nihilists.
It's a video game.
Yeah,
they don't know who they are because they can't put themselves in a binary. They just don't know who they are. Holy shit. And then they just go fucking insane. And that insecurity of not knowing and maybe being on a spectrum makes them want to die inside. And anyone else who recognizes it, they are angry about it.
And they don't want to be, what's it called? Because I'm old. The NCP, what is it? The whatever.
We're really gonna show our age here with this.
NPC, yes.
Non-player character or whatever the fuck it's called.
That one. I get you.
Like, I don't know.
Like they don't want to be that. Like
they don't. Everyone wants to be Mario, but sometimes you gotta be Luigi.
Mario, yeah. But like,
everyone wants to be like the head guy. Everyone wants to be Hercules, the hero.
Yeah, the main character.
Yeah, main character.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that. I just want it to be okay, and it's gonna be. But we'll keep talking shit.
Why not?
Hi.
Drink if you got it.
Dr. Pepper all the fucking time. All the time. Oh yeah. Well, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so glad my light stayed on. Yeah. It was like that bitch is gonna go out.
That was good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. I'll see when I can get that up and then we'll talk again.
Yeah. Alrighty. Cool.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Have a good night.
You.
This thing gets on my nerves.
Want to be addicted. I want to be